When we first joined the church was, I think, about 1965. And at that time, Don Butler was the minister. And we just barely could make the money to pay for the janitor to come in and clean the building up. And that was good, but the school district was saying, you've got to do something. We can't continue to have you here. So Don Butler came up with the fact that he had heard about a piece of property just down from there. So so we said, well, that sounds good, but we're no way we can afford anything, let alone a piece of property. It was at that time $48,000. I think it was right, or not. I may be slightly off, but about that amount. But we're typical guys. We can't. It's impossible. Impossible. We cannot do that because we have no money. We can't even pay the little rent that we're paying up here. With Don's urging, he said, let's get together and pray, and maybe through that we could see a way to go. So we did. We prayed, even though it was way beyond what we would. In business, we would never have thought of ever doing anything this way, but we did. And it did turn out that Church Development Fund through Ralph Bernetti's said, let's go buy that. We need to buy that piece of property for you. Didn't really have an idea of what it would look like or anything. As you see it today, marvelous. Because at that time it was just a lot, empty lot. So that's how we started, and then we started with one building. They said, you can go ahead and start one building, even though you don't have the money for the other three. But you could start one. And they kind of knew that we weren't going to be able to build all these buildings there. So we started with the one which is now the education building. And that's the beginning of it. And there was a lot of work to be done on it, and a lot of it was done by the members of the church here. So as we go from that, we then said, well, it looked like we're growing enough that we need a sanctuary. At one point along the line, I don't remember exactly where, we had a campaign. Now that's for this sanctuary that we're in right here, because we already had the education building, and we're working on that, just barely making payments on that one. But we found God's leading, telling us, go ahead, because you need it. Because if you're going to attract new people and help them, and that's what you want to do. You want to help people come to the Lord, and those that have come to the Lord, you want them to have a place to come where they can worship together, so that we all could worship the Lord. And the people responded, large gifts, and he called it sacrificial giving. And so he said, it's not, not what you're doing now, that's great, but a sacrifice is where you're going to have to stretch. And you can imagine people having to go home and say, honey, what are we going to do? Because it was a stretch. But everybody made a pledge, if you will, said, yeah, we're going to do it, and we will help, and they signed up to do that. So we spent time with prayer leading us to each of these facilities, if you will. None of them were where we were ready to do that monetarily. And then from then, we found the need to have the Family Life Center, as it's called now. So that was part of the experience. They're wonderful experiences all along the way of God's work through the members here. And looking forward, I think that's what we just want to keep that family ministry spirit going and to go forward so that people can feel comfortable to bring their family here. There, as much as we can, we have activities for all levels of members. And so we just want to keep those things. You ask for a vision. My vision is that it continues to grow as it has, so that those that come behind us will be faithful to the Lord.